Welcome to
Keenan
and Meg
and the Gospel Love Ring.
Good afternoon, YouTube fam. It is me, Jamani, back again with another video. So in today's video, I will be talking to you guys about how I flew to Chicago as a blind individual. Now guys, let me tell you, flying by yourself, it is no fun. Especially when you're blind and visually impaired like me. So when I went to Chicago for the summer of last year, my mother paid for me to go to Chicago for the summer because my aunt and uncle were living by themselves and they had no one to, stay with because their kids are grown. And my younger sister had to go on a cruise with her significant other. And so I get to the airport, around 7 in the morning, take my bag out of the car, roll it to the sky cap, and let's just say I had to pay for my luggage to be put under the plane. And, as a blind individual, you're thinking, why pay for your luggage when bags can fly for free? This particular airline, I flew to Chicago, I had to pay for my luggage. And now, guys, they made it to where now you have to put your bag on the plane and pay for your luggage, and now you have to pay for your assigned seating. Now, guys, I'll tell you, when I got on the plane to go to Chicago last year, I was horrified because not only did I get left in Orlando, but the plane that was supposed to go to Chicago left me right in Orlando. And I tell you, I was not a happy camper. And neither was my mother, because my mother had to pay money for me to be put on another flight going to the same destination, to Chicago. Now, guys, listen to this. I get on the plane and I sit down in the chair in the first row. First person to get on and the last person to get off in Chicago. Now, mind you guys, it was hot. It was in the 80s, I believe. Yes, it was in the 80s. And my poor aunt had to come get me. And the police officer was very rude to my aunt and said you had to drive around and wait for your niece to come out of the, aircraft. Now, I thought to myself, I said, why am I the first person to get on, but then the last person to get off? And I got treated so horribly in Orlando that I had to go through security pat down. Now, they, if y'all don't know what security pat down is, where they search you for the weapons, guns, or knives, but little to behold, they made fun of my cane and called my cane a weapon. So I had to put my cane on the conveyor belt and have it get scanned through the scanner. And mind you guys, I had to get searched by the police department in Orlando. And then I get to the tram. Now they had where there was the tram. Now it's the GateLink now, because they had switched it out to GateLink. The GateLink takes you from the security checkpoint to the gate. And mind you, my younger sister had to work when she dropped off at the airport. And so I get on the plane, head on to Chicago, and I was a very emotional wreck. And I had to sit in the aisle seat for 2 hours and 17 minutes flying. Now, I'll tell you guys, it is horrible sitting in the aisle because people tend to bump you with their backpacks. They tend to, hit you with their, purses and bags. And guys, mind you, this airline is where you have to put everything in the overhead bin. And the rest of the stuff that you brought on with you, either go in the overhead or under the seat. So I got into the airplane and I got to show the labor boarding pass, and I told the lady that I needed to get on because I needed extra time. So this lady goes, okay, we'll put you on to the aircraft first before we board the rest of the passengers going to Chicago Midway. And I get on the plane, and into the flight, I asked for a can of soda. Now, mind you, it was a can of Coca-Cola. The guys that were working the flight, I wish I never knew their names because their names are not mentioned in this story here. But I got on the plane and I sat down, put my seatbelt on. I was trying to go to sleep because I was tired. And lo and behold, I didn't get any sleep. So what I did was I basically sat down in the aisle seat. I had a lady sit next to me who kept dropping her phone on my toe. I had to pick it up, give it to her, and she decides to tell me, can you get my phone? I said, well, where is your phone? And she said, Lisa, it's on the floor. Now, mind you, I had to get up, I had to bend down and get this woman's phone and put it into her hand. And so I had to use the bathroom. And so when I got into the bathroom, the guys that were working the flight, they grabbed me by my hands, pulled me up out of the seat, and pretty much just, told me, here's the bathroom, close the door, and do your business. And I said, well, I'm blind and I can't really see. Now, guys, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So I get on the plane and sit down, and this is before I had my iPhone 17 Pro Max. I had my iPhone 14 at the time. And I was recording for Megan Keenan's YouTube channel. So shout out to you, Megan Keenan, for inspiring me to do this channel. Which inspired me to help with the channel and keep it growing. So I get into the bathroom, sit on the toilet, do my business, and lo and behold, the guys were talking bad about me and saying, oh, she's blind, blah, blah, blah. She can't, she can't see, how does her mother put her on this plane without no supervision? Now, mind you, y'all are new to Megan Keenan's channel. Y'all know exactly how it feels to get on the plane by yourselves and be discriminated. So I get on the plane, sit down, use the bathroom, get up, wash my hands, get out the bathroom and sit back down in the seat. for the duration of the flight. So I took off and landed. I landed in around 1:15 afternoon. And the guy told me to not get my stuff. They get it for me. And they told me that they had to wait for another person to come and get me off the plane. And I got off the plane with the lady. The lady goes, "How are you doing?" Like, "I'm okay, just miserable." But I want to give a shout out to this lady who helped me get to my luggage safely. And poor my aunt had to drive around the Chicago Midway Airport because apparently, according to the Chicago PD, you cannot stop and wait for your person to pick you up. You gotta go around the block to come get the person, which is quite stupid, if you ask me. So, guys, if you ever plan on flying by yourselves, if you plan on choosing Southwest Airlines, don't choose Southwest Airlines, because Southwest Airlines is not a good company to fly with, because they make you pay for your luggage and make you pay for the assigned seating, which started January 27th of this year. So, my mother, of course, shout out to her. I called her and said I made it to Chicago safely, because that's one of the rules. When you fly by yourself, you have to call your parents and guardian, whoever you live with, and tell them you made them safely. Because if you don't, they would, they'll question you. So, I strongly suggest, and it's my tip to all of you guys who are watching this, make sure you pack the night before. Make sure you check your itinerary and where you're going, because sometimes these airports will not assist you. And if you tell me you're blind and visually impaired, they'll understand. They'll guide you through the airport. But I would say make sure you call them ahead of time to let them know that you're arriving, so they could assist you the proper way. So they won't leave you. Because sometimes these planes do leave you, whether you're blind or not. They'll leave you, and they'll never come back unless they send you on a plane to come get you. So that's what I did, and I was so hurt. I love my bishop for this. He says he prayed for safe traveling mercies to Florida, from Florida to Chicago, because he knew how stressed I was flying by myself to Chicago. And my bishop laid his hands on my head and prayed for me. Shout out to Bishop, love him. He took the stress off of my body before. I was stressed out. Because, flying by myself was no easy task. I'll tell you that much right now. It makes me emotional just to sit here and talk about it. So now, tomorrow, I get to go with my mom to Chicago for my 31st birthday. Which, guys, stay tuned for that content on June 7th. And also, stay tuned for the 2-hour plane ride tomorrow from Orlando to Chicago. And also, if you guys are, into church, my church is having a Pentecost service on Saturday. So that will be recorded off of voice memos. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to breakfast with my mom tomorrow. I'm going to be getting my hair done Friday morning. And Saturday we're going to church. So y'all get all of this content sent to y'all YouTube channels. So guys, if y'all are new, if you have questions about me flying, how I flew by myself as a blind individual, comment down below. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer all of you this question. I would love to hear from every last one of you how you think and how you think I did about this blog. But if you're so new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell to be notified every time I drop another video. And guys, please do not feel afraid to ask questions about how I flew by myself. I flew to Vegas back in February of 2023 to visit my niece and sister. So guys, if y'all want to know all these things, please don't be afraid to reach out to me on YouTube. And I'm also on YouTube helping Megan Keenan out with their channel. And I have my own channel. Now I'm sharing it with Bryce, who's now my spouse, who's now my significant, as Dan calls it, my other half. So if y'all want to know how me and Bryce met, comment down below, and I will not be afraid to answer. And no, my ex-boyfriend and I did not work out because it's another story for another day. So guys, if y'all like this vlog, please comment down below. And please share this with your friends and family. And remember, God loves you, and so do I. Alright? Bye, everyone.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Please make sure to tune in and subscribe to the YouTube channel Keenan and Meg.